Please for the pledge.
United States of America, to which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I didn't know that or not. I just shifted everything around.
Begin by taking attendance. I'm here. Bob Clark is here. Richard Donald is here. Ray is on Zoom. Larry's here. Ray is absent. Eileen is here. We'll begin with old business at 6:05. Commission discussion decision regarding Wilmot Holdings LLC subdivision located in,
No, we're gonna open the public hearing. We're back in the, which,
sorry,
yeah,
Public
6:05.
6:05, we're going to open the public hearing on Wilmot Holdings LLC subdivision located at 308 Downtown Road, applicant Earl of Water.
You need that from her?
You said it's only 6:03, you have 6:05 for the public.
Okay, so we'll go through the minutes.
All right, has everyone had a chance to read the minutes from the August 5th meeting? Are there any additional corrections or revisions? Make a motion that the minutes be accepted as written. Second. Second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Sir, accepted. 30 seconds.
Still further there, you'll see a screen if you want.
Now 6:05, so we'll open the public hearing. Excuse me. Wilmot subdivision, Wilmot Holdings LLC subdivision located at 308 Downtown Road, applicant Earl of Water.
Want me to read what I have?
Yes, why don't you go through the flow, please?
Okay, the application, receipt of the application date was August 5th, 2024. We notified the adjacent property owner, sent out a certified mailing on August 29th. It was noticed in the newspaper August 29th and September 5th. Start of the public hearing is tonight. The completed application fees, it's a borough project or application, so that's waived. Tax collector waived. Engineering report, we did not need one. Inland wetlands, we had our meeting on September 4th. I just have a report stating that there's the applicant has submitted a 3-lot subdivision to the planning commission. The activity requires a report from the Inland Wetlands Commission indicating its recommendations concerning the impact of development on wetlands property. There's no development planned at this time regarding this subdivision. So, per section 12.1 of the wetlands regulations, in making its decision, a determination has been made by the WEO that the 3-lot subdivision application will not cause an impact on any wetlands or water courses located on or adjacent to the property. Sediment erosion control plan, we did not need. It's waived. WPCA, no. Norfolk Valley Health, no. When they go to do anything, if anything, they would have to go through. They would need a septic system. Police commission approval we received on August 19th. Fire commission approval will be tonight. They meet at 7. And then regional planning agency, it's not within 500 feet of any adjacent municipality, and Connecticut water referral we do not need at this time. Sidewalk waiver, we put one in. We don't have any streets going in, but I submitted a sidewalk waiver with the application just to have a.
And so for the record,
Pete Hess on behalf of the Borough of Naugatuck. And we did get a letter of permission from the Romots to file this application on their behalf. And the reason it's being filed by the borough is this emanates from the receipt by the borough of an open space grant to purchase open space, 45 acres of open space. And the borough's intent is to buy the land between Downtown Park and rural land on the top of Andrew Mountain. Sunset Farm is currently farmed. So the idea is to create a much larger area of woods, open space to preserve the land and to keep our town Mission 22 trail on borough property. So the first thing is when you look at the map that you have before you, that's on the screen. If anyone in the audience wants to see the map, I think you'll have to shift a little this way. So I wish I had a reason, but we're going to start with Downtown Park. We all know Downtown Park, Downtown Road. It's in green. It's expanded with a few minor expansions already, and it's a beautiful, serene, tranquil, passive park, and it's beautiful. And if you stand in the meadow and you look out, see a mountain, and the mountain goes all the way up. It's an Andrew Mountain. It goes up to Andrew Mountain Road. And the borough acquired 5 or 6 years ago a beautiful piece of property at the top of Andrew Mountain Road that's owned by the borough and school and utilized for farming. So the intent of the borough is to acquire the land in between so that we can connect those two pieces and permanently conserve them as open space and to keep that area in its natural state. The land that's being purchased by the borough is very steep, and it's a mountain. It's Andrew Mountain, and it's a real mountain. It's not suitable for development, but it's perfectly situated in order to connect these 3 pieces of property. So the purpose of this subdivision is to create that parcel, which is right in the middle, and we're also creating 2 other parcels. So right now it's 1 piece of land. We're going from 1 piece to 3 pieces. So the borough is purchasing 1 lots, lot 1, 43.19
No, 45,
acres.
45.
45.19 acres. The second piece that we're showing is what's called lot 2, and that is land that the YMCA intends to purchase from the Romots that will be used as I'm going to say
Summer camp.
summer camp and related recreational uses by the YMCA. And the third piece, which is all the remaining land, which is really those beautiful pastures that we see on Downtown Road, that land is being retained by the Wilmot family. So when all is said and done, the Wilmots are retaining 98 plus or minus acres. The town is purchasing land for open space of 45 acres, and the YMCA intends to purchase lot 2 of 60 acres. And from a subdivision standpoint, it is a little unusual because, number one, there's no construction proposed, there's no roads, there's really nothing except a, let's say, the modification of a trail. Anyone, including the YMCA, who wants to develop the land further would have to, of course, come to all the appropriate borough commissions. And that is not intended at this time. So this is a split of a piece of land from 1 to 3. It requires a subdivision. The main purpose is to create that 45-acre piece in the middle so the borough can fulfill its contractual obligation to buy it as open space with the grant funding that we've received from the state of Connecticut. Stop there. Well, Jim, do you want to add to that?
No, you described it perfectly. There's no planned construction at this point, so we looked at it and obviously don't require sidewalks. That's one of the few things. We've got obviously open space, so that's taken care of. So it's about as simplest subdivision that we've had.
And it's also, there will be restrictions. The open space money comes with restrictions to conserve the land as open space. So it's going to be, that piece of land is going to remain exactly the way it is. It's a mountain that connects Downtown Park to the rural land on the Angel Road.
Any questions or comments from the commission? Are there any comments from the public on Zoom?
No.
Can you go take a closer look at the road?
Sure. Okay, does anyone in the audience care to speak?
And that's what they're not, but not that they sold it.
Could you please just state your name and
Okay.
address? Oh.
Okay. Alec Ward, 1058 Rubber Avenue. I board around. The fact that they're selling it, I understand they still need it still left. We've been neighbors forever, but hopefully it doesn't get developed. It's my own feeling. I have a comment for the future. So if the time goes through, I'd ask, try to work together. With the drainage system. As you know, it comes down into Rubber Avenue, raise the flood. A lot more often than it used to be. It's a lot of efforts.
Are there any other comments from the public? Anyone on Zoom? Can't see everyone's name, but it's there.
I just not like to say it, but.
Could you come up
Could
to-
you stop?
Just come up and say your name and address, please.
It's not ideal use for,
Okay, good.
We just, oh, yeah, there's no microphone.
There's no micro, just
say
state your name and your address.
I wondered how that works.
New technology.
So,
Your name?
it's stony, no question about that, and the hill, the cows will need to go on it. but it's ideal spot for a trail down through there.
What's your name, sir?
State your name
Name
All day,
and your address.
308 Benton Road. That's all I have to say. It's just, we had houses to walk up and down there. We had a border collie that ran kind of fast. So my brother went up in the pines and watched her come down after I called him. She'd run until we got to that steep, stony place. It just moved along so slow, got around and pushed too fast.
Yes, she was the word. Melissa, I'm going to ask you to unmute and then you can make your comment.
Hi, can you hear me okay? I had to call in because the audio on my computer is terrible, so if I'm echoing, let me know.
Sound.
Okay. Melissa Leonard, 450 Guntown Road, Naugatuck Conservation Commission. I just had a question for the mayor. With the grant that we're using to buy that, does 100% of the land have to be preserved as open space?
So 45 acres, yes, 100%.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Anyone else? No one else?
I just had a question about the 45.
It's the centerpiece. See lot one, the centerpiece right there?
Right here.
Yeah. I'm confused. The road and top is here.
What's that?
The access way is
Yeah.
is right
This, yeah,
through.
this is your.
Oh, okay, I'm trying to find this. Yeah, okay.
Mike Jaworski, you can unmute and then you can make your comment. State your name and address, please.
Hello, my name is Mike Jarowski. I live at 22 Brighton Road. I was just wondering where I could get more information on the YMCA's plan for Lot 2.
I would say, Paul, Mark LaFortune, who runs the Y, I think their plans are in the development early stages, but I would talk to him and ask him all your questions. He's the executive director of the YMCA.
Okay, thank you.
I have one comment to make. Sure. So, I think you mentioned, did you mention we received the police report?
Yes.
So, the fire commission, it's at 7 o'clock. And, in a perfect world, or maybe even a less than perfect world, chances are quite good they're gonna approve the report ready at about 7:05. So we would like to get that into the record tonight to avoid coming back. So however you think best to accomplish that would be appreciated.
If there are no further comments, I'm going to recess the public hearing until we hear from the fire commission. Ask our members to hang around for that is 35 minutes in anticipation of receiving something one way or the other from the fire commission.
Thank you very much.
If there are no further comments or questions, anyone, we'll recess until we receive word of the fire commission's action later this evening.
No, we could either.
Yeah, that concludes our business for tonight. However, we have all received a package from Penrose for the second phase of down the street here. We do not have a referral from the zoning commission yet, so we're not acting on it as a referral. But if the commission wishes, and so we can add it to our agenda tonight for the purpose of discussion, pending should occur before our next meeting.
Their meeting on this week. Okay.
Correct.
Zoning is next week.
The zoning's next week. If you've had a chance to look at it and would like to, I'll entertain a motion to add it to the agenda. Sit here and play setback. Stuff like that. That hurts.
So we're not adding it.
Anyone will make a motion to add it to the agenda?
I'll make a motion to add Penrose phase 2 to the agenda for this evening, for the purpose of discussion.
Is there a second? Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, we will discuss Penrose phase 2.
Mr. Chairman, if you'd like, I could maybe say one or two things to simplify.
Please do.
this.
Yes.
Okay, so, if you, when you look at the plan, you'll see that phase 2 is not in the middle right next to phase 1. It's the portion of the property closest to the Nordic Cook Event Center. And the reason for that is that the State of Connecticut Department of Transportation is requiring the middle portion of the site to be used as their laydown area and for their usage in building the train platform, train station in the middle of the property, number one. So that's why phase 2 is further south next to the event center. Because they will be working on the train station and they need an area to lay their equipment in the middle. Secondly, phase 2, Penrose is applying for competitive tax credits from the state of Connecticut. And their application is due in January or February, somewhere in that range. And they can't apply without a land use approval. Now, let me say it this way. Their chances of getting approved without a land use approval are slim. So in order to try and save a year and keep this project on schedule, their hope would be that they could not only go into the ground and start building phase one, but get phase two approved so that they can get funding for phase two. So I'm not speaking for them, but I know that that's their intention. And, beyond that, I don't really think it's appropriate for me to comment on their plans. But it's intended to be, similar construction amenities as phase one. And beyond that, I'll just say that the plans speak for themselves. You can look at them and educate yourselves, and they'll be here to present their application whenever you schedule. Beyond that, I'm going to go to the fire commission back to 7:05.
Attached in your packet was also copy of a summary. The drainage report summary. Or the offices on the map, are those for Penrose or the, the rental or real estate management company, or those for, is that for like professional offices? Full page. First floor plan. Schematic design package. So, 7, yes, thank you. See, office, are you on 7? I'm on the first floor. Yep, so if you look over by the multi-purpose room, the purple, it says office, break, files, reception. I'm not 100% sure, we could find out, but I believe that is for.
Pretty sure it's offices for that. They're not planning any, I don't think they're planning any offices, just.
So the only retail is
retail.
this blue, this one blue, okay. So it's mainly residential. I think like 90-something% must be residential on phase 2. Yes, phase 2.
Just the other side.
Yeah.
Don't plan on using any solar.
I don't recall the answer to that. It's a good question.
That's downtown. All time down there. That's where.
I don't think there's no solar on the first phase 1. I believe they're gonna look into putting solar in for, the common spaces.
You bet we couldn't get a solar heater for the walkway. Race park.
You mean over the river?
No, we're going to train the 2 buildings
Oh,
towards the train. There's a raised one we talked about.
That's not happening anymore.
Speed bump's not.
Oh, you're talking about, it was part of a speed bump or?
Yeah, speed bump,
Oh, you're saying, okay, heated for the asphalt.
yeah.
basically, after they refer to us, this is for our referral to give them a positive for phase 2. They'll be here next month. Once we get the referral, they'll do their presentation.
Question for borough engineer. Both phase 1 and phase 2 indicated there would be a significant raising of the lot where the building's actually set. And so looking at this, water flows to Old Firehouse Road or towards Water Street. My memory is not so good if that was reflected in the groundwater study we got.
Yeah, I haven't totally reviewed this at this point because it hasn't been accepted yet, so
It's a point worth discussing, because again, I don't want it to become Old Firehouse Canal. Although gondolas might be attractive.
the obviously there's a new drainage system
Yeah.
going down
Yeah.
Old Firehouse Canal. It's going out to the Long Meadow Brook. So, that's all being decided appropriately along with this drainage on these parcels are getting directed towards the drain system that's attached to that pump station, which is getting down. So I imagine that, we'll have a much better situation than we do.
Than we currently. Somewhere in all of this, I made the comment that instead of 100%, we're close to 100%. Pervious would be 65%. With discussing that when it comes. As is greenery shows. When they put in the puff piece on top of this, they keep showing water gardens. Love an explanation of how they work with polluted soil.
Right now, they are proposing, treatment, the catch basins along the, new Water Street. You see all the water in the parking lot runs to, 3 catch basins on the back of the parking lot, so they're proposing some cartridges that are going on at this point. I've spoken to them about looking at the regulations, new regulations, 2024 regulations that require a little bit more. I mean, this can work if there's no other choices, but they have to put a little bit more effort into their report and say, what did they look at? What are their low impact development? Now, you're right, there's impacted soil, so you don't want to infiltrate a lot of the water, although they do have grass. So we're infiltrating a little bit. So that's gonna be an interesting conversation.
And yes, and for every piece they've ever shown us, they've included water gardens. It's like,
Well, and the manual does talk about doing them in areas where you can't infiltrate because of the soil condition. In these situations, you can put a liner underneath and you can still treat it by having plants. Put a liner and you put a curtain drain underneath, so it does get treated as it runs down.
I understand that none of that detail, and you're absolutely right, none of that detail is shown.
Because I don't believe they're proposing any of that at this point in this plan.
I didn't find it in this, I found it in the prior one. And I found it in the puppies. You switched the paper that they're showing us. I guess.
Yeah, they
Their
did show in
imagination.
their photos of different things. I couldn't find some of those things in their proposal.
No. Wasted a great deal of paper.
Kind of a follow-up. All of this, 1, 2, and 3,
the plantings, the tree in particular, planted in contaminated soil.
What,
Sending roots down that are not going to be barrier protected, are they going to survive?
well, yes, the answer is yes. What's happening as part of phase one is we are over excavating any planting areas to get the separation. And from what I understand, it's not necessarily contamination that requires a liner. It's more contamination that requires a separation between people and the material. So, and the tree roots don't generally go, most of them, beyond 2 to 3 feet down. So they'll be given an area to grow, and that's where they'll stay. For the most part.
So without a liner,
But we had trees, as you see, we had trees in that parking lot that were doing overly well. Without an issue. They'll, no doubt they'll grow if they're given an area of uncompacted dirt to grow in.
so presuming that the laws of physics still apply, and we fill fresh soil with now 3 feet, 2 feet, or at least 4 here from the other area.
Yeah.
Does the wood of the trees that grow there then become hazardous waste?
Right, venture a guess. It's not hazardous now, so hazardous is a whole different term.
Yeah.
Start date on when they're gonna start, digging for phase one.
The remediation portion is out to bid. We're collecting bids, I think in October, middle to the end of October. So the construction is start November, December. Now, the construction of the roads for phase one, that has been awarded, and the notice to proceed has been given to Earthworks. So that work should start anytime. Their clock is ticking, so they've got a little bit of work over in Cherry, so I expect when they finish their work in Cherry, they'll mobilize over here. Penrose, they've always spoken that they wanted to start at the end of the calendar year, December, January, and start construction there. And the railroad, my understanding that they would start in the spring to summer. So you'll see a lot next year.
And the rotary is pretty much any time now.
The rotary is pretty much any time. There's continued to work. I'm surprised they hadn't started already, but there was some utilities that utility companies, as they finally started looking at our plans, finally realized that, hey, it's a good idea to actually replace these things, even though they're not necessarily on our plans to do. Gas company, which is the most recent, they finally decided to go to intermediate pressure gas lines from low pressure. So they would have to replace all those gas lines right to the roundabout. So they're doing that. That's done. And what I understand, all the utility work is underground has been readjusted for the nth time. It's clear to start that work.
Also, Ed mentioned to me, this coming Monday, the 16th, we have another special meeting. And that's for the subdivision, to finish up the public hearing for the 7 lots.
Yeah, the land hasn't been separated into lots.
So we opened the public hearing last month and a special meeting, and we didn't have all of it. Well, tonight, we already got the fire, we'll get the police tonight, I mean, the fire, we'll get tonight, police.
I will have two reports. That's the subdivision of the Wilmot property
And the 7.
and this one.
Any other questions on this one?
What road are they gonna put in? Are they gonna put the connector road in? When you said, earthworks?
Earthworks is putting all the roads except for what's in front, directly in front of the train station.
Like the whole Water Street, are they doing this thing or just?
They're gonna do from Rubber Avenue at Firehouse, continuing by the event center, taking a left, coming through to the beginning of the train station, and then they're gonna do the connector road from the municipal parking lot in. And I believe.
Oh, that's what
Fucci-
earthworks.
And yes, and I believe Fucci's gonna be doing the section from the bridge to the right here where the bar is. Or Dallas is, that little portion.
What's the road gonna be called?
Oh, the new road, well, it's Water Street, Rubber Avenue, and I believe it's Railroad Alley.
Yeah, Railroad Alley.
So Railroad
We
Alley
didn't
is
vote
gonna
on that?
connect, Water Street and Old Railroad Road.
Railroad Alley is connected Water Street and Old Firehouse Road.
And we call it Hess Way.
I wanted his name attached to it.
Yeah, last month, I believe we talked about the area in front of the train station that the state is doing that part of it.
Are they responsible for paving it? Not paving it, maintaining it as far as like plowing and all that?
The
During the
railroad,
winter? Yeah.
they're 100% responsible for their portion of the property.
Because it's on their land.
I'm sure we'll be plowing right through it though. We gotta plow our roads, and we're gonna be there all the time, so, I mean, they have to do the sidewalks and they have to do all that, but we're gonna be obviously plowing right through.
Well, we just have to plow the road. And roads or wherever the.
They have to do their
management
parking
company has to
lots
do
and
their
the sidewalks and the frontage sidewalks and all that, that'd be their responsibility.
So the drainage going from phase 2, is gonna go into Long Meadow Brook.
No, it goes into the drainage, from what I understand, into where the pump station dumps right into the river.
So pump station, pump into the road.
No, the pump station is unneeded at this point. And it's just gonna go, pump station get removed and the drainage gets tied to the old, yeah, exactly.
So the pump station is down
Underneath the river, underneath the river
Right.
to the bridge. And that's, and since we've cut off all the other drainage from it, it's more than adequate besides for all this stuff.
It's the schedule for earthworks. Finish the roads.
They have, the next year to finish. Honestly.
And so the question, if the roads are all finished, before Penrose and the train station start,
Yes.
who has the liability for the roads during construction?
The ones we're building?
Roads you wanna know if they get destroyed.
I mean, you know, we're gonna have stuff moving in and out of there for 3 years while they build out.
There's access ways off of, Firehouse Road where the sections of sidewalks are gonna be left open. And then also on Firehouse Road, yeah, but you're right, they'll be driving over a fairly new road.
With abnormal vehicles, heavyweight stuff.
Hopefully, but they've got a big laydown here, so hopefully they truck in their
How do they
vehicles.
get there?
Well,
It's on the road.
well, they have to truck the excavator in, and they'll park it on there, and their laydown area, their staging area abuts their property. So theoretically, how they're gonna get out is the question, more so than how they're gonna get in, because they're gonna be getting in when,
Middle of everything.
well, they'll be getting in before Penrose is doing their thing, before we probably pave, I imagine.
So will the train station and Penrose both use phase 3 area as their staging area?
Penrose is gonna have to use their own property to stage.
So their parking lot area?
And we're gonna have very tight quarters in it, in, well, 2 years, basically. So Penrose gets this approved, they apply for the funding Fed this December, January, they don't find out until next spring, and they don't start constructing until, 16 months from now. So that gives Earthworks a chance to get done, it gives us a chance for most of this construction to be done, and it gives the ability to that laydown area to clear out.
They move that station now, before the buildings start going up, that's gonna have to have access for the public to drive down there, it'll be in a way as well.
They move the station before
The
that's built.
the station's gonna be done, Penrose will be done before the station is done. Penrose is gonna be done in less than a year, and the station, I
Phase
think it's gonna take phase 1. And then the station is gonna take probably 18 months, and they're starting 6 months after, so.
There's a lot of room. I mean, look at the North Main Street size of that building that was built, and they did it all on that parcel. And the parking lot's gonna be much larger for Penrose.
Maybe Myrtle?
Yeah.
That's going on next.
We're waiting on some news. Has there been any word of resumption of train service?
Nothing that I heard.
Because the photographs of the damage much further down near the dam is extensive, but also I had a friend send me photographs of the railroad through Beacon Falls at the gorge. Without rebuilding that railbed, not just the obvious washed out rails hanging in the air. This is where the money's coming from, this is where money, we could be blessing people who could get by rail for 2 years. Not much longer, and
It could.
it makes us look.
Well, they can do the construction quicker because there's gonna be less distractions in the track.
Yeah.
They get some-
Yeah, well, I'm sure they're looking at it and not wanting to replace it as it was.
Oh,
You
absolutely.
know what I mean? try to figure out what's the right size pipe so it doesn't happen in 25 years. Let's do it to
And
last another 100 years.
The right size rock for the track, for the railway.
Exactly.
By then,
Then
they'll
there
have
is the question, how they get it in there, that rock.
So. And all the environmental regulations, it's a lot easier before I had to worry about any OSHA or environmental regulations, or just take it on there with oxen and buckets.
I bet you it's gonna be at least a year before those tracks are open.
Where's most of the damage? Seymour and Beacon Falls or?
Well, Seymour.
Seymour too.
Yeah, Seymour, they had the dramatic picture when the rails were just hanging there. But if you were to go across into Beacon Falls, lovely new recreation area on the west side, just north of there, and for at least 3/4 of a mile. It's in terrible shape.
If you know how the state forest comes down from
Yep.
the road,
Spruce Brook, yeah.
that there is.
Yeah.
The rails are just hanging.
Oh, wow.
So one would hope, instead of rushing and doing it the easiest way, which Jim said 25 years ago, faced the same disaster. One would hope they're thinking like people who designed Waterbury's water system, or after the 55 flood, Alpert Dam, Torrington Dam, all the dams up. They're thinking that far out, because simply to get it back working where it's at now, it's vulnerable, very extremely vulnerable.
Because isn't most of the rail line in Seymour is on the other side?
Right.
The river, it crosses right at the border. So Seymour is mostly on that side.
Well, we have a little bit of time, Mr. Chairman. I have to recuse myself from any vote considered.
Where you are.
We're gonna have to put that on the public, on the record for the public hearing, right, Ned?
What are you putting on?
Bob Clark can't vote for the Wilmot subdivision, their family.
Well, he can just either not appear, could just not be, or if he recuse and not be present for any discussion or any comments or any vote. So he could leave the room and then come back for other business if he wanted. But that recusal should be made at that time, right at the time.
We're already into the meeting, into the public hearing.
Yeah, abstain. Yeah, abstain, then Eileen can go.
Oh, if you're a voting member, we have to.
Okay.
You could appoint her as a voter.
Well,
Have to leave it around for that? No, he's already here for the discussion, right, Ned? He's already been on for the discussion.
this is an informal discussion, and he can note for the record that he's planning to recuse himself from any participation, any
Oh,
vote.
wait, it was for the public hearing that we opened at 6:05, not for this Penrose, for the Wilmot, for the subdivision that we're waiting for the fire commission approval on. So
Yes.
we've already had our discussion. He's already been part of the discussion.
Well, it's important that it was noted in the record that he has recused himself. So that should be part of this record. And then when you go into when Penrose comes before you at your next meeting.
Not Penrose.
Yeah, forget Bob Clark and Penrose, that doesn't matter. It's only the Wilmot property.
Oh, Wilmot, I'm sorry. Okay. All right. Well,
Record will show I did not participate in the discussion.
that's good. And Bob, more than that, you probably Well, the best thing is not to be present. That's the highest level of recusal. But if you don't participate, it's fine as well. That's acceptable.
Then does he recuse himself or just abstain when they go to vote? Does he just abstain?
He just wants to go home.
He's already, the chair can note that he has recused himself, so he just won't vote. He'll be, so if he's not present, he doesn't abstain. That was my other point about not being present.
So there
Present,
you go, Bob, go home. Yeah, I think that's what he's saying. You should go home or.
if someone is not present, the chair may fill that spot with an alternate.
It's the cleanest.
Yeah. Okay, so Bob will.
You go out 2 minutes early and then we'll appoint Eileen here, and we spit through all the discussion on that.
You were here last week, right?
Yeah,
On Zoom.
I was live for the presentation and I was Zoom for the other.
Did you recess the public hearing?
We recessed the public hearing. We're just waiting.
So he should do is recuse himself as soon as he comes back in.
He's like, "Yo, so we go."
I think we should have said this at 6:20.
We're gonna have a lot of questions. There's some stuff that's not in here.
The board was talking about the trees. It has to go down 18 inches to begin with. Start target for that. No barrier.
It starts at 7. Okay, so then we have our special meeting next Monday, and then we're back on our regular schedule. If Ed doesn't get any more special permits.
Is that open on land Thursdays? Or is it closed right now?
Oh, it's still open.
So they do have hours. They have various hours. Purpose society.
Usually open on Thursday.
They're allowed on Saturdays too.
Yeah.
We have.
We're looking for the white smoke to come out.
Ed was on the distribution centers before wetlands.
The lights.
How many sessions with Kid that'll be there for?
I don't think many, because there's.
Do you want to recess the meeting for a few minutes while you're waiting?
At 7:02, you were this long. I wasn't there.
Put some time to get something printed.
Yeah, right across the bridge, the printing place right next to
Universal.
Right next to Rich's Car Works.
Universal?
Yeah.
That's South Beach?
Oh, you mean right now, here? Must.
No, anywhere in town, that's, I went to CVS and said, no, they can't print, I have to get my registration pin done.
Oh, to get something printed.
What?
To get something printed or copy.
And print it.
Because
It's on my phone,
they give it to you.
Staples and Watertown.
Watertown.
Well, no, I think Universal will too. You can email them.
Oh,
You just need something printed.
I don't print it.
It's a pain, isn't it, with you get your registration renewal online, and if you didn't see it, you don't know, then you don't get your car registered, then you don't get your tax bill because you're like, oh, what happened? Then you look back in your email.
And you gotta look at the thing to say you wanna print it.
Everything's your responsibility.
Yeah,
Nobody, they all get.
It's a
told
trick.
nobody
They
does any of
the receipt shows up.
Yeah.
But you gotta click on the thing to print your registration.
And if you don't print it, you can, I
You can do
do
that,
it.
right?
Then they charge you for a $20 copy.
If you miss it, I think it's like 3 times, then you have to pay $5 for another.
But you missed it.
No, I saved it on my phone, that's a picture. That's good enough. Start printing it out. So we can go over it, have a registration. Start to pull over. Oh, I'm not good at that.
The smoke is on.
The smoke is moving.
So we'll go back
Okay,
to,
we will resume the hearing on the Woodmont subdivision for recess. We have a report from the fire commission.
we have a report from the fire commission approving, approval.
And that's all we will wait.
That's what we were waiting for.
Okay, so if there are no other further comments, I will close the public hearing at this time. Able to, now? Oh, right, yes, let me note that, Bob Clark has left the room and recused himself from any vote on the issue. And we'll appoint Eileen Cornell as a voting member. Zoom and in person. The discussion of this subdivision. Okay. Take a motion to.
Wait. There's more.
Sorry.
Wait, there's more.
Just more, sorry. Rich has made a motion to approve the subdivision. Is there a second?
Wait, do you wanna put on? Yeah, we have the waiver, we're gonna just do the waiver for the sidewalks, just, we don't have to, if you don't want to.
Why don't we,
We're not putting any roads.
nothing's being developed. But sidewalks into an undeveloped.
Can't have sidewalks without roads.
Yeah.
Okay. Scratch that. So then the next portion, it just,
It might be appropriate when the Y comes back to their portion, maybe.
that'll be a special permit application.
Yeah.
But I have just the maps and the dates, so we know which one's first.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve the subdivision application dated August 2nd, 2024. For a 3-lot subdivision located at 308 Dumbtown Road, applicant Borough of Naugatuck. Including plans titled, quote, subdivision map, land now or formerly of Wilmot Holdings LLC, 308 Dumbtown Road, Naugatuck, Connecticut. Scale 1 inch equals 200 feet, dated July 15th, 2024. And quote, compilation plan showing land now or formerly of Wilmot Holdings LLC, 308 Dumbtown Road, Naugatuck, Connecticut. Scale 1 inch equals 300 feet, dated July 26th, 2024. Following conditions. 1. Monuments will be set at the corners of the property as depicted on the subdivision map. There is no, 2, there is no bond required for the subdivision. 3, all future development
go through the zoning process. Is there a second? Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Abstentions?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. If there's nothing else on our agenda, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn until
Hey, I'm here. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
September 16th for our special meeting.